Hey, thanks for joining. You did it. Nice job. Introducing our project management trainer, speaker, author, and coach to thousands of professionals and organizations worldwide, including NASA, the U.S. Air Force, USACE, U.S. Army, the Department of Transportation, the FBI. Your friend, Phil. Over to you, Phil.
Hello, fellow project managers, job seekers, business professionals. I hope you're doing good. Welcome to our very quick discussion about searching for the job of your dreams. I put this together because I realized that lots of you who are getting certified in various things are beginning to look for jobs again. And now that you're certified, you need to look. Some of you haven't taken any certifications, but you are looking for jobs, and you will find a job. The only thing is to stay at it, to stay dogged and rugged. So today, I wanted to share a few ideas with you about how you can do this. I call this search for your dream job. Now, let me speak for myself because I am probably one of the most qualified people to do this. I've been to over 50 interviews, different companies, healthcare, engineering, business. I worked for a business magazine out in Arizona. I worked for bank, Citibank, known as Citigroup out in the UK in Canary Wharf. Before that, I worked at Salmon Smith Barney, which became part of, the Citigroup empire. And then in addition to that, I've worked for engineering firms, worked with government firms and agencies on projects. I've trained project management worldwide. But I've also worked for firms like Honeywell, Motorola, US Airways, worked at General Dynamics, and many, many other firms. I've done many short-term gigs as well. But in taking over 50 interviews, I realize there are some ingredients that you need to have, things you need to do to get your foot in the door. And once your foot is in the door, kind of in the door in an interview, how do you stay in the door and how do you take it all the way through to making it a massive success for you? Those are some of the things I want to discuss. So let's jump into it. Search for your dream job. By the time we are done, we would have talked about the following items. Talk about movement as you search for that job. I call this under the rock, searching under the rock for that job. Build, what you need to do to build as you look for the job. There are certain things that you should be building. Daily rituals. I'm going to show you 10 daily rituals as you search for the job. And a section I call interview and win. So let's first of all talk about movement. If you're looking for a job right now, my friends, you gotta move. You gotta get up from the seat and move. Don't feel complacent or comfortable, even if you've got a job right now, but you're looking for a job. You've got to move. Get up, my friend. Don't keep sitting down saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. No, move. I'm going to show you how to move and things you need to do, but you need to decide now is the time. You need to get up and move. So let's go to the section that I call movement. Start from somewhere. Do it now. And when I say now, I mean now, like right now as you and I are speaking, or as you're listening to me. Depends on if anyone will call in or not. But you got to start now. And I'm going to show you practical ways of starting. So why don't you follow me to start now? Which job are you looking for? Chat into me. Those of you who may have questions or, you're looking. Let me know which area you're looking for a job in. It could be anything. But I will show you where to begin and how to keep the momentum going. But you got to let me know what you're looking for. If you're looking for anything in business, I would recommend you to begin on the web. Why? Because things move quicker on the web than picking up the phone or sending a letter. Even sending an email is slow these days. These days, it's social media. That's where it's all happening. I remember a particular company out in the UK. My mom was looking for some services from them, and they were dragging their feet and not pulling their weight. And I decided to send them a public message on Twitter. Within less than 2 hours, these people were all on top of that case trying to solve it. So social media is a good place for you to begin. LinkedIn, not necessarily Twitter if you're looking for a job, but you could still tweet out to your followers and say, hey, I'm available at this point. I'm looking for a gig. You'll be amazed at the amount of bites that you could get or where your tweet will end up. You'll be amazed at who could read your tweet and say, oh, that person seems to have the skills I'm looking for, and they could engage you. So why not start off now? Go to LinkedIn. If you haven't joined LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn and say, hey, these are my skills. I'm looking. Now, when you're looking for a job, you can't afford to be bashful and shy about it. No, you got to be bold and tenacious. That's how to do it. No cloak and dagger game saying, oh, I don't want Phil to know that I ain't got a job now. No. Let people know. Those who are for you will be for you. They'll help you. They'll jump in to help you, and you'll be amazed. Your job, the job of your dreams, could be anywhere. It could be hiding under a rock. It could be hiding in the mind, in the brain of someone, So don't be shy about it. Let me speak for myself. Now, when I got done with college and I was looking for a job, I looked everywhere, looking in the papers at that time, trying to do it on my own. One day, my sister on the subway, which we call the Tube in the United Kingdom, picked up one of the Metro newspapers. You guys who live in the United Kingdom, you know the Metro. Picked up the Metro or the Daily Standard. It was on her way back from work. Found some, just seemingly small 1-inch by 2-inch post in the Daily Standard and said, hey, I think, or Evening Standard, I think this could be something you go for. You will not imagine where that job took me. So in the beginning, I told you about Salmon Smith Barney. That job took me to Salmon's. It took me to Victoria to work at that famous building there. And from there, moved into Citigroup and, Canary Wharf, that high tower that those of you who live in the UK. It started off from the Evening Standard, a 1-inch post that she found and said, hey, these people are hiring. We didn't know it was Salmon's. We didn't know it was going to end up in Citigroup, but it did. But if I didn't make it clear to her, I'm looking, I need this job, I need to be employed, she would have just flipped the page and continued looking. Like some of us are not informing people around us, our network, that we need jobs. We need to. So I want to encourage you to start somewhere. Do it now, right now. Go on LinkedIn, send a post, send a message to someone and say, hey, I'm looking. Now, the next question is, where is my dream job? Your dream job could be anywhere. It could be a number of places. And I see some of our friends have joined in, and I see my mom is trying to reach me. Speaking of family. Well, Mom, you're going to have to wait for a few seconds, but where is my dream job? Your dream job could be under a rock, and I want to encourage you to start. But I saw a few chats I wanted to get to. NC Worker, good afternoon. How you doing? I see Jay Billman. How you doing, Jay Billman? What are you really doing for that gig is my question to you. Carlos, my good friend. Carlos says, I think you should call this Search for Your Dream Boss. Well, let me tell you something, Carlos. You just never know. You may be your dream boss. Let me speak for myself, all right? So talking about looking for jobs, there is a website that I've got to show you. So just stick with me, Carlos. I have to show you this website because this website got me what I thought was my dream, well, you said dream boss. Let me show you this website right here. It's called Dice. You probably heard of it. So one day, I was just casually searching, and I typed in project manager and I typed in Mesa, Arizona, and hit the search button. And what came up shocked me. It was what I would say was my dream job. And I eventually got the gig. I'll tell you about that later. And I thought I met my dream boss. But do you know what happened? The economy tanked. So now we're talking about the coronavirus and everyone's running around. Back in 2008, it wasn't the virus. This was a different type of problem. This was the economy tanking, even without any virus or anything else. So I had to reinvent myself because my CEO came in one day and said, Phil, I'd like to meet with you. Okay. I thought probably he was going to give me a raise, or something. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but he ended up saying, Phil, today's your last day. Get your box, put all your belongings in it, and you got to leave by this evening. What? Seriously? I mean, I couldn't believe it, and at that time, when you need insurance the most, like when family members need insurance the most, when you've got kids who need insurance the most, he said, that's your last day. And I had to reinvent myself. But you know what, Carlos? That's when I decided I would go into a different world of business. And I went full throttle into doing pretty much training, coaching, and helping people. Because I'd been a project manager for a while, and I thought, well, let me start helping people. Let me try to give back. And that's when in 2009, I went full throttle. But you see, I thought I found my dream boss. I thought I found my dream job. But at the end of the day, I realized that was not my dream job. Even like right now, this is not my dream job. This is my dream because I love to help people. So if you find your dream, right, embodied in an organization, in a set of tasks, in a set of things you do every day, that should be the goal, to find something you love doing. So whether it's your dream senior colleague that you're working with, or someone that you are pretty much helping, because when you think of it, the person we call the boss, you're helping them. You're helping them get their vision and their dreams for the company accomplished. And that's how it should be. But I totally get what you're saying, Carlos. That's a very good point. So, Joe, I know it's you, Joe. Of course, we've had this conversation before, trying to keep you anonymous. So, Joe, tell me, what have you done in the past 4 weeks since we had that discussion? Have you started putting pedal to metal to make things happen? I'm curious to know. But let's go back to our little discussion here. So dice.com, that is just one of the websites I'll be showing you later. But going to where's my dream job? It could be anywhere. You just don't know. I didn't know where mine was until I began to soul search deep within and realize, you know what? I can actually do something different. All right. Under a rock. Is your job under a rock? Where should I look? First of all, let me talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn has become a den of sharks. And I'm not talking about bad sharks. I'm talking about good sharks that find you and just grab you. Like my co-trainer. There she was, minding her own business. And out of the woodworks of LinkedIn, oh, are you looking for a gig? We see that you've got skills. And before you knew it, she was snatched away. I'm like, oh dear, LinkedIn does it again. But I was really excited because that was her dream job. That's what she loves to do, working in the financial world. So I was absolutely elated for her that she found a gig and in warp speed. So LinkedIn, if you haven't been searching on LinkedIn, let me encourage you to do that, because you just never know who is looking at your profile, who's looking out for someone to hire. And we'll take a look at LinkedIn if we've got the time to do that. The next place I would recommend is Dice. I showed you Dice. It's a great website. Let's take a quick look at Dice one more time. So I did a quick search for Dice and project managers a few minutes ago. Let's see. Did anything come up? Not quite. Mesa, this is where Boeing is. And I'm often told by people at Boeing that turnover is very low. People love their jobs. People ain't going nowhere. Okay, we got Chandler, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and a few others. So, yep. If you're looking for a job, my friends, this is how you do it. You roll up your sleeves. You gotta jump in. Just do it, Just do it. As the slogan says, just do it. Like right now. Follow me along. I did this for you. I did this so that you can start your search now. Open up Dice and type in what you're looking for. If you're in the business world, technology space, project management space, art space, marketing space, healthcare, whatever. Go to Dice. and search. How are you going to find that job if you don't? Now, you know what I did? I typed in Project Manager Mesa, and it came up with Cheyenne Mountain Entertainment. And that's how I got the job as a project manager. I was a localization expert working on a game. This was my dream job, really. Making a video game, right? Making a video game until the economy said, not so quick. You're going to tank. And all the investor money, before you knew it, it had been blown. The company is now dissolved. You know, those of you who were there, maybe you're watching this after the fact, you know how hard it was. It was hard to get our paychecks. I mean, it was just a nightmare. And unfortunately, poor MGM, who gave us the IP and the copyright to use all this stuff, they really had nothing at the end of the day either. It was a very tough period. But I'm saying all that to let you know, while it lasted, it was grand. And while I worked in that company, what it did was it gave me the zeal and the zest and the confidence to strike out on my own. Because after working, it wasn't exactly a startup. I think we had a number going to maybe 300-400 people that were associated with the firm. So it wasn't like a tiny little, mom and pop shop, but it was small enough for me to understand the nuts and bolts of how the business worked and how a business could be built on an idea and on a model and thrive. And that's really what gave me the zeal to, and in fact, the building that we were in, that's the building that I work out of, like today. So it gave me a framework and a model and an idea to build on top. So you never know where the little job that you're working on right now, where it could lead to. And I encourage you to open your eyes, open your ears, look around, see how you can take something from where you are now or where you're leaving and how you might even strike out on your own. Some of you are sitting on mega ideas. Maybe you need to strike out and start it. Just begin. And if you've got questions about how you can start your idea, or you want me to give you ideas or mentoring or coaching or advice, the website is pmsucceed.com, because you can get coaching with me and I will show you how you can blow the lid off these ideas you've got. And maybe you need to be doing something for yourself. You ever thought of that? Anyway, I digress. Let's go back. So I showed you dice.com. The next website is Careerbuilder.com. Careerbuilder is another website where you can search for jobs and get traction. I have found traction on Careerbuilder.com, and that's actually how I met my mentor. It was through a job I found on Careerbuilder.com, realized it was this agency, and that's how I got into an engineering company where I met my mentor, who told me about the project management professional exam, which changed my career entirely. I mean, I don't know where I would be without that career move, without working for that company out in Phoenix, Arizona, called Brown and Caldwell, where I met Mary Hirschner, my mentor. There's no way I would be where I am today. One, I wouldn't have probably taken the exam as quickly as I did, or maybe not even taken it. But Mary showed me the way. And I met Mary in this company that I found out about them through Careerbuilder. And they found my job on my resume on Careerbuilder and said, hey, we've got a job, and I got the job. So you just never know where any of this will lead to. But you know what I did? I moved. So I challenge you today, move. Open up that LinkedIn, Dice, Careerbuilder, whatever it is, and just do what I'm asking you to do. Like, do it now. Like right now. I don't even care. As we're speaking right now to each other or conversing, go on these websites. Look, why am I such a raving lunatic about these websites? Monster.com, 6-figure job came in from finding it on Monster.com. And that 6-figure job led to an even higher 6-figure job, all from Monster.com. If I didn't search Monster.com, there's no way they would have come calling. No way. And why do I go crazy about Monster.com? Because it was from there I was able to find the dream company I wanted to work for before working for that gaming company. It was Honeywell. I wanted to work for Honeywell so bad. But when the time was right and I had gotten my certification, then someone from a well-known recruiter came calling and said, hey, Honeywell is looking for someone who can do this and that, and earned value management has got to be really solid. And earned value at that time, I had not practiced it. But you got to start somewhere. Some of you are looking at jobs online and you're scared, like, oh, I don't really know if I've got that skill. I've not done it before. You'll be amazed. You got to try and you got to move. All right. So move right now. Move right now. Move right now. Another place that you can go to if you're looking for a job and you're in the United Kingdom is jobsite.co.uk. I mean, the jobs there, they got some really ridiculous sums of money to be made when you get the job. Because guess what? Someone is going to get the job. You see, the problem with a lot of us, we look at jobs and say, oh, no, not me. Never. No, I'll never get that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be silly. Someone is going to get the job. Why can't it be you? The same way I got that job in this gaming company, trust me, this job was sweet. I mean, I've still got contacts that I use for my business from that job today. I'm not there anymore, but the people I met, just brilliant people, designers, artists, creative people, mind-blowing. So you just never know. What are you waiting for? Why are you looking at the jobs and saying, oh, I don't know if they'll choose me? That's the wrong thing to do, my friend. Search now. Go for it. Be a go-getter. You can absolutely do this. Okay? Indeed, that is also another website to look at. So I'm going to show you in more detail these websites just to put a face to the name. So here is the first one. That's dice.com. That is how I roll. If I'm looking for a job, I am just going to get started with it. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for any permission. I'm not going to wait for someone to say, all right, Phil, you can go ahead. No, I will go ahead like now. That is how vicious you got to be, because time is running out. You can't go without making those Benjamins forever. It dries up. It runs out. Before you know it, the wallet's dry. So you have to start today. Seriously. I want to show you a link that I think could really help you. If you're looking for a job, this is monster.com. All right. It's one of the biggest job search websites that started before everyone else. And this is where I found, like I told you, several six-figure jobs that I actually got, that I landed. Isn't that I found them and I went for the interview and I didn't succeed. No, I succeeded. But I started from somewhere. But do you know there were a number of jobs I didn't get as well? So I went to several interviews. And those interviews helped me cut my teeth, on interviewing and getting back into the swing of things. So you got to start somewhere. But the link I want you guys to check out, because I think it could really help you, is this. It's resume and cover letter tips. So go to this link. It's tinyurl.com/resume777. See it there? There, that way. tinyurl.com/resume777. This is going to give you ideas, okay, about how to write a resume, craft it, how to write, a thank you letter and all that stuff. All right. So at this point, I want to answer any questions you guys have. Do you have any questions that I can answer about this resume and cover letter thing before we go further? NC Worker says, how to get into the profession without a degree, but with similar experience. So which job are you talking about, NC Worker? Let me know. Jay Billman says, that is me. I see some job descriptions and get nervous about my qualifications. Very good. Thank you for being real and honest here. Here is what I can tell you. Some of you are certified project managers, okay? You've taken a certification. You are, you got this certification that says I can do this. If you do not have a certification, let me give you a serious tip here. It's not about what you show. It's all about what you know. And some of you know stuff. You don't need some certification to get started. So even if you don't have a degree, you know what you know. That should get you in the door. to many companies, I'm not saying all, but many, you got to be tenacious, rugged, dogged, and tough. You got to be tenacious. Why would you give up? Even the greats tell us this. I was at a online webinar last week, seminar, and Magic Johnson was sharing how several banks rejected him and said, no. We're talking about over 10 banks. I mean, you would have wanted to give up, right? On getting all this rejection. No, you got to keep going, because at the end of the day, he finally got a bank to say yes, and the rest is history in the multi-millions. So you cannot afford to second guess yourself when it comes to these things. You're going to get a lot of people kicking back and saying no, but what about the one that says yes? What about the one that says yes? You got to try. It reminds me of Larry Bird. How many free throws did he shoot every day before he went to school? 500. 500 free throw shots. No wonder he's so awesome when he played, right? The same thing, my friends. You got to keep on at this resume job search thing. You can't allow 1 or 2 or 3 rejections to get you down, because if you do, you're not going to get to that one that is yours. So even if you don't have a degree, craft your resume in such a way that it states what you know and it attracts attention, because people are attracted to what you can do, not just what is on a resume. What's on a resume is good, right? As far as certification. But when you look at someone's track record on a resume and you see beyond all the certifications or none, you see what they've done, where they've been, what they've accomplished, the projects they've worked on, and the things they've accomplished in the projects they've worked on. That's what you need to put down on your resume, not just certifications. So even if you don't have a bachelor's, you don't have a PMP, you don't have a CCNA, you don't have a CISA, you don't have any of those things, you should be able to convince people, I can do this. I have done this in the past. So that's the route I would go from. But let me share with you one story of a student who came for my training and learned how to do a bunch of things. Now, note, I didn't say the person took the PMP exam, the professional project management exam, or any other exam. No. This person just came to my training and learned hands-on how to do stuff and took that certificate of completion and went into an interview and said, I'm not a certified project manager, but I've been for training where I learned this. And these are some of the things I've done. And needless to say, this person got the gig just by showing I've learned this and I've done this. So you got to start somewhere, okay? So NC worker, I will encourage you to start from somewhere. Do not give up. If you're looking for an assistant PM role, it's very simple. Very, very simple. Go for training that is hands-on, okay? Where you can learn how to actually do things. And I don't just want to give you a bunch of random nebulous stuff. I want to show you something that can actually help you. So how about I just show you where to go to begin this journey with more finesse and precision. On the Praizion website that I'm showing you, Praizion.com, that's Praizion.com. If you click for more products, there are a number of curricula that could help you to be able to solidify what you have started learning. One of such is called Project Management Night School for beginners. And not only are you taught project management from the ground up perspective, as you can see, I try to practicalize it a lot, but there is also right here at the bottom, see that? It says career tips. Career tips for becoming a project worker, analysts, coordinators, administrators, so on and so forth. And it goes into all that. So what I'm going to do right here is just copy that link and I'm going to share the link. And that is a great way for you to just up the ante on your prep. because I share so many tips in this set of videos that it's almost impossible for you not to begin to get more traction than what you have right now. Okay, so go to that link I chatted in live and just begin absorbing all the content. But what you need a lot of is down here in these last three career tips. Career tips for becoming a project worker, analyst, coordinators, administrators. Even, if you don't have a PMP or CAPM or whatever it is, these will help you. And then for other folks who are not necessarily in that realm or that space, I have another curriculum that can help you here. It's called 10 Power Steps to Professional Success. And this is a CD set, and this it's actually a downloadable MP3 set, and this will help give you some direction, even if you're just starting from ground zero. Maybe you're out of high school, maybe you're out of college. This will give you some ideas to get you started. All right. So like I said, it is one of my passions to help people who are looking for jobs. And out there, I also have some free content on a website. I call it Job Seekers Motivation. And I'm going to send you that link as well. I got so much stuff out there, I got to search for it using Google. Thank goodness for the Google boys, because without them, I wouldn't know where I was going or what I was doing, because I've got so much content out here. Here it is. It's called Job Seekers Motivation. It's free, and I'm going to send you the link right now. So I've got a few powerful curricula here. Breaking into project management, next level project management, Job Seekers Motivation, how to be a project manager leader, how do you make a 6-figure salary, planning out your week, PM career interview, and where is your career headed, which can help anyone, whether you are a business person or not. You're welcome. Here is the second link. I think this second link will be nice background listening for those of you who are looking. It will just keep giving you ideas about what to do and how to do it. Okay? So I'm an advocate for starting now. Do it now. Like right now, as we are on this call, open up dice.com, open up monster.com, open up careerbuilder.com, and start looking. That's the way to do it. If you don't start looking, tomorrow's going to come and you'll be like, okay, I'll do it the next day. And it just keeps on being an evading priority. Don't do that. Do it now. I so mean it. That was one of the things that triggered me to come on, to help motivate you, inspire you to go to these websites. So let's take a look. This is Indeed.com. So if this was me and I was a marketing coordinator, I would start from here. Marketing coordinator. And I would be realistic, because I know Mesa, Arizona is in the middle of nowhere business, except my friends at Boeing. There's not much that you could find out here, but never say never. I could still check, but I would be realistic and look for a wider expanse, like out in Phoenix. And there you go. There's a marketing coordinator gig right there. Retail marketing coordinator, marketing and sales coordinator. And someone might look at this and say, oh, I want more money. Look, start from somewhere. You see, this is a mistake many people make. They look at money and they think that's all there is to it. No. If you've been on the bench for as long as I have, for like 9 months, no gig, wouldn't it make sense for you to get even a 0-pay job just to network? Of course it would. You can learn a plethora of things from a $10 an hour job. I've done $10 an hour jobs. I've done $12 an hour jobs. And it just keeps you in motion. So don't look down on jobs that are $10, $12, $14 an hour. No. Go for those jobs, network, and use them to your advantage. It's all about being in motion, right? In-house appointment, event coordinator. What am I talking about? I've even done, this will shock you. Years ago, I've done $6 an hour jobs, $7 an hour jobs. I've done them all. But that did not stop me. It was a journey to me making $5,000, $2,000 an hour. It's a journey. I'm not even thinking about those $6 an hour days anymore. Back in the UK, I was making £4.50 an hour. £4.50 an hour. Now, $500 an hour is too small. When I speak, $1,000 an hour, for some entities, that's what they pay. But it started off with £4.50 an hour. I didn't get to where I am today by starting big. I started small. The same for anyone. You got to start small. So, be it, a small job or a big job is a job. Get into it, maximize it, do it, and you'll be happy that you did, because it will lead you to greatness. So the $4.50 an hour, £4.50 an hour job I did was the last job I did before finding the Salmon's job that led me to Citigroup, that led me to find great, awesome people in my life. And, after that, I worked in a number of other firms, found my mentor, but it definitely was not $50 an hour. Definitely wasn't $100 an hour, like $19 an hour when I started working for some other companies, and then it grew and it grew and it grew. But it has to start from somewhere. I want to encourage someone. That's probably why I'm sharing this. Someone needs to hear that. What about project manager? Project manager out in, Joe, where are you? Tell me which state you are, Joe. I should know because I've sent you that book and I can't remember which state it was. Remind me, Joe, what state are you in? What state? Because I'm going to go on and help you find some bites right now. Is it DC? Is it Maryland? Remind me, Joe. All right, I'm going to start off looking in Maryland, and let's see what we come up with. Where in Maryland, though? Where in Maryland? I know there's a little bit of a delay. Let's just look here. Anywhere in Maryland. There you are. Project manager, tech project manager, ERP. This is what I do, my friends. See, here's another website, dice.com, the first one I told you about. I would go on every single hour of the day. Every single hour of the day, and look for jobs, at any time of the day. And if I found one that was just posted like this, you see that 10 hours ago, posted 10 hours ago, I would jump on it and I'll try and get right there in the front of the queue and start engaging with whoever is looking. So many jobs. Look at that. 10 hours ago, 9 hours ago. These are not jobs that are stale, that have been here for years. No, these are new jobs. Look at this one. 2 hours ago. And I will encourage you, do not allow what you see as far as what they're looking for. Don't allow what you see to discourage you from going for them. So, Joe, what state are you in? Remind me. Are you in Hawaii? No. Oh, that was high. Okay. I know you're not in Hawaii. But the point is, start somewhere. Look at that. 9 hours ago. 9 hours ago. 9 hours ago as well. Seems like there's quite a number of these jobs. There's another one 9 hours ago. This one's in Arlington. So I say all of that to inspire you. Regardless what you're looking for, there is room for you to get that job. Okay, let's go to the final pieces and then I'll take any questions at the end. So to round this up, go to this link, tinyurl.com/resume777. For those of you who feel I haven't written a resume in forever, go to this link, tinyurl.com/resume777. And when you get to that site, which is a monster site, you're going to find this. You're going to find resume samples. You see that? These are sample resumes that you can download, copy from, and use to craft your own resume. Because some of us haven't done this in a long while, and we might be struggling with it. So there's a nursing student resume, college resume, nanny resume, waitress resume, sales associate, bank, accounting resume, so many of them. See them? And it just keeps going on. Cashier, bartender, call center, paralegal. And I share this with you because I know some folks haven't written resumes. I just want to give you some actionable steps to start. It goes all the way into hundreds of resumes. See that? Sample resume for a mid-level manufacturing engineer. And there's so many. Let's see. Project manager. Let's see what comes up with this. Okay, project manager resume objective examples. See that? Experienced IT project manager resume sample. There are so many. Let me copy this into the chat for those who are project managers and may be looking. And go check that out. See that? What about those who are looking for project coordinator? Project coordinator role? Okay. Not quite. Best entry-level jobs for college grads. There's so much stuff here, okay? So much stuff. No problem, Joe. I wanted to start looking for a job in your location. So I couldn't remember whether you were in Maryland or where you were. But I kind of gave some examples. You can go back and watch it, okay? So keep the questions coming. If you guys are looking for a job right now, and you're like, I don't have anyone to help me, I don't have anyone to mentor me or coach me or give me some advice. Hey, this is a free mentoring opportunity. I will take your question and I'll give you some insights if you share them with me. Share your questions with me, okay? Let's jump back into the rest of our presentation here. And the slide that I jumped over, because I jumped over a number of slides. So we talked about movement, and then we talked about under a rock, and these are places where I said you absolutely should look for jobs. Those of you out in the UK, don't be offended. I did not forget you. I have the jobsite.co.uk website, and honestly, this website is just something else. Let's see where it is. Right here. This is one of my favorite websites for jobs in the UK. Come back. This one right here. So let's type in project manager just to demonstrate to you the power of this website. I should probably have put in London or somewhere. Okay, let's put in London. See what comes up. 20 miles. I should probably put in more miles, but let's see what it comes up with. So this is, like I said, for my friends out in the UK. Put in a zip code. Let's put in a zip code. It's incredibly slow. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, this was one of my favorite sites, and I'm telling you, there we go. There we go. Project manager, Northwest London. There's another one. It's 40 grand to 45 grand a year. There's another one, 40 to 42 grand. There's another one, French speaking project manager. I need to go look for some of my students. £350 a day. Multiply that by 30. That is going to like 11 grand a month. That's not bad. That's not bad. Here's another one, 65,000 to 70,000 pounds. Now, for those of you who haven't lived in the UK, you got to remember that when we talk about pounds, you put the pound next to the dollar, dollar's nowhere. The dollar's nowhere. And that's why whenever I go back to the UK and I've got to spend my dollars, I just shake my head. The poor Benjamin is being slayed by the Elizabeth notes. But anyway, hopefully things change back for us here in the United States. But right now, the pound is a beast. So there are many jobs, as you can see, so many awesome jobs. Oh, look at that one. Almost £500 a day. Ridiculous. Pension project manager. You see, so those of you out in the UK, I don't know if you've ever searched on jobsite.co.uk, but when I used to search for jobs, huge sums being offered for project managers. Who said project managers aren't in high demand? Yes, they are. They absolutely are. All right, so I think I've covered all of the sites on this page. So like I said, ask a family member to look. My first big break was from my sister reading the Evening Standard and finding that job. Network and let people know you're available. My skill gig, I call it my skill gig, but it's really, oh, I'm not sharing, am I? Am I sharing with you or not? Can you see? No, you can't. I'm sorry. Here we go. I thought I was sharing, I was not. There we go. Okay. So, let me cover those one more time. Ask family to look is the first thing I said. Then I said my skill gig, which was a job at a well-known training firm called Skillsoft. Some of you know Skillsoft. And to be quite honest, Skillsoft is where I found my co-trainer who I spoke about. Without working at Skillsoft, I wouldn't have found one of the most valuable players in my journey of training project management, Emily. And Emily and I were co-trainers at Skillsoft. And how did I get into Skillsoft? It was from my mentor, who I met at that engineering company, the same person who said, Phil, I think you'll be a great candidate for the PMP exam. This was the same individual who, when she knew I was looking for a job, networked with one of her colleagues from a previous healthcare firm who tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, we're looking for a PMP exam trainer. You're PMP. Will you be willing? And she said, not me, but maybe someone that I've mentored. And she gave me that gig, and I got it. And that's how I started working at Skillsoft. And boy, oh boy, was it a pleasure to work there. Met many great people. I met Emily there, met Dan there, met Michael there. Michael just sent me a message yesterday, 2 days ago on my birthday, wishing, congratulating me. These are people I met from associations with other people, and they're still my buddies till today. You see, so you never know where these jobs are going to take you. You never know people who are going to come into your life because of it. And Emily and I met in Skillsoft, and we partnered to train so many entities and individuals, across the world. And you just never know who you're going to meet in the job. But it has to start from somewhere, right? So it could be hiding under a rock, right in plain view. Study what you know to show excellence. Build on what you started. What do I mean by build? Build a solid resume. Right now, I've shown you the link. I've given you the link, tinyurl.com/resume777. Build networks. Some of you ain't building your networks. Build your networks. Go on those LinkedIn forums. Post. Engage with people. Let them know you're available. Let them know you're looking. Let them know what you can do. Be active online and build awareness. If you own a business, build your brand. You got to put content out. it amuses me that a lot of people, let me have a go at them. Let me have a go at them now. This is where we can stand up for what people should be doing. A lot of people say, I'm a trainer. And they're great trainers. But when you ask them, what are you doing to build your brand? Oh, I just do word of mouth. Seriously? That's all you do to build your brand? What are you doing in this digital age? You're not putting out content. Shame on you if you're not putting out content. Oh, I don't want to put out free content because it will diminish my brand. Seriously? Are you still thinking that in 2020? That putting out free content diminishes your brand? You need to get with the program, my friend. Content is king. Putting this stuff out for your followers is king. So let me have a go at those people who, they're hoarding away their knowledge and say, no, I don't want to, I'll just put out some advertisements. Seriously? Instead of you giving to people who are eagerly following you, you're shoving it under the carpet. You're trying to stockpile money. You see it as money. But what you fail to realize is you're helping people. And when you help people, what goes around comes around. So you not putting out content. Let me speak to many other people like me. Let me have a go at them. They say they're trainers and they're not putting out content for their people. It's a shame. Why do you do this? Do you not know that I want to see your content? I do. I want to see what you've got. Except you've got nothing. Huh? Have you really got substance? I challenge you. Put it out. Those of you who say, oh, I'm a PMP trainer, put it out. You're watching my content. You think I don't know? You are watching my content. You're a trainer. You're not putting out content. You cannot build your business to the degree that others will build theirs. Like me. I will forever put out content. I do not care if I've put out thousands of hours. I get a lot of dislikes from people. Why should you put out so much free content? It's my content. You don't want to put out yours to help people? I will. So this is not for you job seekers. This is me having a go at my colleagues who say, Phil, you put out too much content. Why do you put out so much free content? I'm going to keep mine to myself. I feel sorry for those folks. So build your brand. Pay your dues, right? If you need to volunteer. Take a hit to hit big. Take a smaller amount of money to hit big. I saw a question come in. NC Worker says, if I apply for a position in this career for a foreign language project manager position, would it be wise to send a resume in for... I should just bow down to your brilliance. 1,000,000 times yes, NC Worker. Absolutely. I mean, if you're going for a job as a Spanish-speaking project manager, why on earth would you just write a resume in English? No, I would 1,000,000 times do what you've advised. You know what I would even do? I would think out of the box and do something nobody else would do that will get you in the door for an interview. This is what I've done in the past. 1, you can take artifacts that you've developed, and I'm not saying that they belong to another company, but I would take artifacts in that language that appeal to those stakeholders. If there is a product that you know will appeal to whoever is interviewing you, I would take that. Case in point, I don't have my product to hand. I would have shown it to you, but it's a set. Let me show you. Let me go grab it. Give me a quick second. I'm going to go off camera and I will get this product because I think this will underscore the point for some of you. You got to be practical a lot of times in your approach to getting a job. So let me get this product. I want to show you what this product did for me in that one of those interviews I told you about. Give me a quick second. Find it. Oops. Okay. Just when I needed it, I can't find it, unfortunately. I thought I had it close by. But let me give you a visual just to make it stick. So when I went to this interview that I told you about in the gaming company, what sealed the deal? And, I later heard this from one of the VPs who interviewed me. But what sealed the deal with me taking one of these that I had produced? Because when they saw what I had produced, it was a CD deck, very similar to this, but it was in a vinyl wrap and it was all still wrapped up in the wrapper and so on. And I said, look, I produced this and it contains audio that trains project management. And I was still working full time for the likes of Honeywell and Motorola and US Airways at the time. So it wasn't as if I was fully in what I do today. So they looked at this and they were like, wow, this guy actually did this all by himself. We got to give him the gig. That was the deal clincher. So what am I saying, NC worker? You got to think out of the box. Sometimes it's taking a product or an artifact that shows you're capable. It may not be like a resume piece, but it shows people I can do it. Or it shows people I can relate. Another case in point, still in this interview, because I went hard on that interview. I went in there with a lot of force trying to break down the door and get attention. So I did get attention. And right there in the middle of the interview, I said, I can totally relate to this industry because I have experience in the music industry. I know that in the world of game development, entertainment and music go hand in hand. And they said, really? Give us the website that you just told us you developed for music. I gave them that website. It had a lot of my musical products because back in 2000, a lot of people won't know this, but I was a serial eBay loop manufacturer. So I made a lot of loops and I would sell them on eBay. And those of you who are not in music, loops are small snippets of music you create that people can take and make bigger albums and bigger pieces from. It was going to that website. When that VP typed in my website, he was so impressed. And I knew that since I'd gotten the VP's attention, there was no way I was not going to be called back for another interview. I ended up getting the job. It was a really great job. Learned so much. The VP who interviewed me, Joey Barra, he's one of the well-known gurus in the gaming space. Some of you, you've heard of EA and companies like that. Just talk about Joe. Everybody knows Joe. So Joe went to that website, typed it in, and he was thoroughly impressed. And that's how I got the job, and the rest is history. Even though the company is disbanded now, but I learned a ton of things. So you never know. Writing your resume in a different language, that's the way to go. All right, let me round up this so that you guys can go on your merry way, start your job search. All right, take a hit to hit big. Build on skills and knowledge. What do I mean by build on skills and knowledge? As you're looking for the job, keep studying, okay? Keep studying, keep on adding to the knowledge that you have. Don't rest on your laurels and say, okay, well, I'm already certified, so I'm just going to keep looking for a job. No. These days, learning takes place in a variety of ways. And one of the ways is on the web doing research. So do your research, learn. I've shown you this. I'm going to show you 10 daily rituals for job seekers. And hopefully we'll be able to close out with this. All right, here are the rituals for job seekers. In my mind, you're looking for a job. You need to have certain rituals that you carry out daily. I'm going to show you these rituals right now. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first one, stay active. You got to stay active, my friends. And I say this from experience because there was a time when I was looking for a job. I went without a job for 9 months. It can drive you crazy. If you don't move, you don't get out of the house, you don't get to interrelate with individuals, you just stay in one place, in one room, in one living room, in one bedroom, in one corner of the house, please don't do that to yourself. You will become very downcast. I was depressed. Bad move. Even if I had just walked out of the building for a couple of hours a day, it would have done so much for me. So you want to stay active, okay? Go for walks, get on that treadmill, do some exercise, join a fitness club, or just go to the park and keep fit. Go out with the dog, take the dog for a walk, go on extended walks, whatever you need to do to stay mentally active, physically active, I encourage you to do it, okay? That's the first thing. The second point here, network. Networking is the new job seeker currency. If you're not networking, nobody knows you. If nobody knows you, they ain't gonna flow you that job. So you got to keep looking. You got to keep working. As my Uncle G says, if they don't know you, they ain't gonna flow you. If they don't know you're out there, they ain't gonna give you that job. They ain't gonna give you that position. So you got to keep looking. You got to keep hustling every day. Every day you got to hustle. Third point, search for jobs. Please search for jobs. It's as simple as going to that website that I showed you. Job site, Careerbuilder, Dice, Monster, LinkedIn. Just do it. Please just do it. Okay? So search for jobs. And remember what I told you about your family members. Your family members, let them know you're looking and they can help you out as well. The next one is apply for jobs. How many of us find a job and say, it looks good, but I don't know if they'll give it to me? You're making a big mistake. You're making a very, very big mistake. Looking for a job, finding a possibility, and then second guessing yourself and saying, I don't know if they'll give me that job. That's not good. Don't do that to yourself. Apply for jobs at random, ad nauseum. Find a job, apply for it. Why? Because you can. Why? Because it's going to increase your hope levels. It's going to keep some motion going. I applied for so many jobs. It's almost unbelievable. Like I told you, I went for 50. I've been for 50 different interviews in my career. Do you think I was thinking, oh, Phil, that's too many interviews? Nope. I don't have to pay to go for the interview. Why do I say interview? Interview because your skills are going to be sharpened. Anytime you go for an interview, it's like exercising yourself, just going for an exercise. Some of you ain't exercising. You need to. That's how you get good. So for me, my elevator pitch, it's stuck. I know my elevator pitch. Do you know yours? Can you pitch? If I put you in front of a recruiter right now, in front of the decision maker, can you pitch enough to get the gig? Some of you can't because you are not practicing. Or you say, Phil, I need to rehearse first. No. Apply for jobs and then go for the interview. Next step is to interview. Search for jobs, apply for jobs, interview. Don't shirk from the interview and don't be scared, oh, what happens if I don't get the job? No, don't do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot even before you begin. The moment you begin to self-doubt and question, oh, I don't know if I'll get it. Don't do that, my friends. Don't do that. You'll be amazed that you've got what people are looking for. You got to try. All right? Follow up is the next one. You got to follow up after the interview. Follow up. You'll be amazed at the relationships you can build from following up. One of such relationships is evidenced in my career where I went for a job interview at Motorola. At the end of the day, it was not a home run because it was very, very hardware heavy. I'm not a hardware guy. I'm more of a software guy. In the industry I've worked in aerospace, healthcare, engineering, software. And when I worked in software, it wasn't hardware. So they put me in for the interview. Didn't work. But I responded to the interview and I said, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. I was polite and I enjoyed the interview. And I did let the interviewer know I enjoyed the interview. Anyway, fast forward, they got back to the agency and said, oh, he's a real nice guy. We'll keep this in mind. He didn't get the job, but, So I kind of kept in touch with the person who interviewed me and sent a personal thank you. 3 months later, that same person I interviewed with recommended me to his colleague. And that's how I got into Motorola. Because I kept the channels open through follow-up, my friends. You got to follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. The next one here is improve. I've talked about improving. What do I mean by improve? By improve, I mean keep on getting better. Don't say, oh, I've arrived. No, you've not arrived. Study, learn more, learn about the company, perfect your elevator pitch, go for conferences, go for seminars. Go to projectmanagement.com if you're a project manager. Go to the website for human resource development if you're in that arena. Go to the website for engineers. If you're an electrical engineer, go to the website for that. Whatever you are, if you're a musician, go to the website for musicians. Whatever, improve. And improving is not just about learning, because some people are guilty of this. They buy books and they read, and they never do. How do you think you'll improve if you don't do? You gotta do. And that's why I tell people volunteering is a great way, to perfect yourself. I was looking at one of my friends on LinkedIn on the profile, and I realized, wow, this project manager has been busy volunteering for the PMI to the point that they actually award you a certificate and say, certificate for volunteering. And that's really remarkable. Some of you need to do that. Volunteer to be a mentor, volunteer to be a trainer, volunteer to be a coach. And that's how you stay in motion, okay? That's how you stay in motion. So improve. Whatever you need to improve on, whatever you can get better at, which is everything, improve. Next one here is stay positive and focused. There's a saying by Zig Ziglar that goes like this. He says, it's not your aptitude that determines your altitude. It's your attitude. PMA, positive mental attitude. That's why you need to rid yourself of anyone who's been negative around you, because they just mess things up. And you go for the interview and you're thinking dumb thoughts of failure. How do you think you'll succeed when you're thinking about failure even before you've been given the job? So you need to go in with a positive mental attitude. That trumps everything. You go in with that attitude, it's going to affect the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you engage with your audience. Right? Do you think, like right now as I'm speaking to you, do you think I have a diminished mental attitude? No. I have a positive attitude about you. I know you can do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here if I thought, oh, well, there's a probability they'll fail. Do you think I would be here talking to you? No. I know you can do it. I know you can blow the lid off this thing, and I'm looking forward to you sharing with me how you did it. Next point is unwind. Now, some of us are guilty of not unwinding. You got to unwind, okay? Now, I'm not saying there are periods where you don't have to grind, like more than typical. There are times you might have to grind more than typical, but you always need to go back to, I need to unwind. Very important for you to stay active, but also important for you to unwind. Unwind, load off those mental blocks of stress. Just let them go because they're toxic. So unwind. Don't forget to do that, okay? Last but not least, plan the next steps. So as you get to the end of each day, I want to encourage you to plan the next steps. So here they are. Stay active, network, search jobs, apply for jobs, interview, follow up, improve, stay positive and focused, unwind, and as a great PM, great project manager, great business executive, don't forget to take yourself out of the shot when you're being an obstacle, like I did. Oh dear. Okay, my friends, that's pretty much what I had for you today. These are the 10 things that I think every job seeker should make their daily ritual set. Do these every day. Every day stay active. Every day network. Every day look for jobs. Every day apply for jobs. Interview as much as you can. I also want to encourage you, those of you who say, Phil, I would love to interview every day, but I cannot even get an interview. I'm going to show you something out here on our channel, on Praizion, the YouTube channel. I have a video that is a virtual interview video, and I put this up purposely to help people. I call it the virtual interview. I'm going to show you that right now. It's called the virtual interview. Here we go. And if you go to this link, there's a video of me asking you virtual questions, like I'm right there with you, and I'm asking you questions about yourself. I'm asking you to explain to me why we should give you the job. Tell me about your background. I try to make it as engaging as possible. And I know that a lot of folks, they don't have the opportunity to go for interviews right now. So thank you, EA. Appreciate that. Here we go. All right. So I see a chat from our friend, Richard. Richard says, hello, Phil. Getting a place to even volunteer has been an uphill task where I live. I just moved to PM from banking, and getting to practice has been tough, aside the school life project. Well, thank you for sharing that, Richard. And I'll just let you know, in my mind, you can get a volunteer position, but you got to think out of the box. Let me give you some ideas about how and where you can volunteer, or how you can at least get your foot in the door in some institutions. I appreciate you sharing that. What I would do is this. First of all, I would like you guys to check out these people. And the only reason why I'm sharing their website is because they helped me to find many, many great opportunities, six-figure opportunities, great opportunities. They're called Tech Systems. One of my friends who worked for Tech System, well, he became my friend. He was really the guy who was recruiting for Motorola and US Airways as well. He was the recruiter that helped me as a conduit to get to these firms. He worked for Tech Systems. I was very impressed at how I was treated and how they were able to get me jobs so quick. Now, these jobs could translate to either contract jobs or they could translate to permanent jobs. It really depends. But Tech Systems is a place I would recommend that you begin your journey by asking them to help you, because their network is huge. Got a massive network. And if there are places to work at a lower pay or maybe in a volunteer capacity, I expect they should be able to help guide you into some measure of success. So let me share this with you in the chat. Oh, you are in Ireland. I see. Oh, okay. Well, how about going to the job site that I showed you, jobsite.co.uk. And if you go to jobsite.co.uk, I would search for project manager, or you know what? I'll just search for volunteer. I think where a lot of us get it wrong, Richard, is we're looking for work in project management, whereas we should be looking for work anywhere. You know, a job anywhere is better than a job nowhere. So if I were you, there we go. Look at this. We got a few. These are out in London, I think, EN5. But let's type in Ireland and see. Let's see if that makes a difference. But you see, there's so many. See, voluntary unpaid role. You see that? That is how I would roll if I was looking for a job out in the UK. Treasurer, voluntary unpaid role, junior Java engineer, teaching assistant, $70 to $80 a day. So in my mind, a job somewhere is better than a job nowhere. But I would search in my locale for any job if I was really desperate, and I could volunteer there for a while, and I could see if there are any jobs that could translate to project management if that's what you're looking for, or something else. Look at this one. It says coordinator. In my mind, that is really a project-oriented job. Coordinators don't know that what they do is really manage little projects. They're really managing little projects. They don't know. But we call it coordinator. Coordinators are some of the most powerful people. Administrators, coordinators, as evidenced in the Marshmallow Challenge. Just Google Marshmallow Challenge. Now, the Marshmallow Challenge is a game I play when I go out to companies to train, and we build a tower with marshmallows and spaghetti. But do you know those who typically succeed historically to get a reasonably high structure? It's not the CEOs and the business people. It's the CEOs and the business people with an administrator. The moment you take out the administrator or the coordinator, they don't get half as good. But the moment you put in someone who can coordinate, they get really good. So these are very, very treasured people. Coordinators, administrators, wherever you are, I doff my hat to you. That is pretty awesome what you do. It does require a lot of skills. But anyway, Richard, this is where I would start, but I would intentionally look for volunteer. Let me put in Ireland. I don't think it registered. Let's see if it comes up with anything different. Okay, so start from there, Richard. Let me know how that helps you. Oh, you're out in New York, Joe. You're welcome, Richard. So Joe is out in New York. So Joe, let's take a trip to, while that is cooking. Oh, there we are. So Bedfordshire, Bleak Hall. See, I'm not sure about these places up in Ireland, Richard. Hertfordshire. That's definitely not Ireland. Yeah, that could be. Okay, hang on. Volunteer. Let me copy this link, Richard, and you just never know. Play with it, see where it gets you. Let's go to DICE. So Joe, New York. Looking for a project manager job, Joe, I'm guessing. If you're looking for a project manager job, let's see. And it's given me City of New York. I have a friend who works there. Senior Project Manager, Mutual of America. So many jobs, Joe. Go check out these jobs, Joe. So many jobs. I mean, what would you like to do? Which one would you like? Look, this was posted 46 minutes ago. 46 minutes ago. Let's take a look at the job description. And let me take myself out of the shot. Let's take Phil out of that shot. Just put him where he can't cause any trouble. Up there. Okay. So, as you can see here, are you an effective project manager with an interest in joining a leading financial services organization? So Joe, if you like the financial industry, that is a possibility. If not, I'll just keep searching. Look, there's so many others. Scrum Master 2 days ago, Project Manager, Project Coordinator 2 days ago. I am Project Manager. Which one's that? That's Connecticut, though. Yeah, you probably wouldn't do that one. They're looking for someone that's got SDLC knowledge and Microsoft Project. You see, Joe, this is why I tell people, just work on improving yourself before you find jobs. Like for me, my resume is loaded to the teeth, not only with what is on paper, but stuff that I can actually do. I can do so many things. I can design sites. I can build sites. I can work with code to some degree. I can integrate in an engineering firm, healthcare firm, gaming firm. I could use my right or left brain. I can do a number of things. So, Joe, it really depends on what you're looking for, but the sky's the limit. There's DICE. Here's Monster. I would just start there. Maybe you type in PMP, put in your location, and just start applying. Because when you get little wins, it just gives you more and more confidence. Look at these, Joe. Look at these. Project Manager Certified, PMP Certified, MBA. Project Manager PMP, clinical trials. So many opportunities. You guys get the picture. Don't let me beat a dead horse. Let's call it a day. Except there are other questions that you guys have. If there are other questions, I would really love to answer them. But let me know if you've got any questions right now. Questions or concerns or ideas for others. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much it. If there are no further questions, I want to encourage you. Like, one, I gave you the tech system site. Two, I want to give you another site of these people who helped me find a six-figure job. They're called Manpower Professional. Okay? These guys may be able to help you as well. Here's their link. Okay? And don't let me forget my favorite company, Honeywell. What can I say about Honeywell? Oh my goodness. If not for Honeywell, where would my earned value chops be? Honeywell is where I cut my teeth squarely on earned value management. Those of you who are project managers, you can relate. Imagine reading a topic and then you've never practiced it. And then you find a firm who is looking for someone with that experience and they hire you based on the very articulate knowledge you describe. Not because I've been there down that road before with earned value, but because I could convince them I can do it. You see, NC Worker, that is a very good example of how you could get a job. You've not been there before, you've not done it before, but you convince them. I mean, I drew out, I gave them a visual of how to implement, not even just formulas of earned value, no, how to implement an earned value management system. By the time I broke it down, they're like, yes, you know what you're talking about. And they gave me the job and the rest is history. Ended up writing a book on earned value as a result of my experience in that firm. You just never know where these things will lead. You just never know. But with great power, as this dude says, with great power comes great responsibility. It was my responsibility to show up and encourage you. Those of you looking for a job, tell you, let you know, you can absolutely do it. I am rooting for your success. I have shared many free links in the chat. If you have not looked in the chat at those free links, please do. I really think they will be of great benefit to you. Okay. Any final questions or remarks before we round up? Going once? Going twice? Anyone looking for a job and has a question about how to proceed? No questions are off limits regarding job seeking. Or maybe some of you are taking an exam. Have you got any questions for me? Because I don't come on here to share PowerPoints. I come on here to answer questions and encourage you. Any final questions? Going once? Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you. I wish you all the very best. Don't be a stranger. Put a comment below if this has helped you. Put a comment below. And I'll get back to you with answers as soon as I can, okay? Thank you very much, Joe, and everyone else. I appreciate you, and I wish you all the very best in your job search. And do not forget, these websites that I've shown you in this section, I want you to go there right now. Monster.com, Dice.com, Indeed.com, jobsite.co.uk, Tech Systems, Manpower Professional, Honeywell, Motorola. I didn't share that one with you. Thank goodness I saw it. That was another phenomenal gig that I had the pleasure of working on. EA says, do you have any tips on how one can at least maybe not dig his own grave. Not dig his own grave in a PM interview with panelists who are experts who basically can do PM. This is hilarious. I have to share this in a PowerPoint. EA. Oh my goodness. What a colorful question. And I appreciate you sharing that, because I actually did not finish the presentation in my eagerness to share everything I had. But I'm going to put your question here in a PowerPoint. I'm going to share it with everyone, because I think that is a very good question. The reason why I find this so comedic, I know it's a very serious question, but the reason why I find it so comedic is I am the poster child for unsuccessful, dumb behavior in interviews. I'll share that with you. So let's go back to our presentation here, and I'll share a few things with you, and we'll round up. So let's go back to our presentation, and thank you for bringing this up, because I actually forgot that the presentation had a few more slides. I got all excited and forgot to share this with you. So before I get to your question, EA, I wanted to share some very important tips about research. So EA, your question about how not to bury yourself in an interview, you start preparing not to bury yourself. You start dismantling your Undertaker robes, You start getting rid of the Undertaker paraphernalia before you get in there, because you do not want to dig your own grave in an interview. So one of the ways you can do this is by research. Research gives you so much intelligence that at the end of the day, it is almost a foolproof strategy. See, that you won't do something dumb or say something dumb. So research what they do, relate it to the past, relate it to the future, research why they do what they do, research what they do, and research history and alignment to your mission. First of all, that's going to put you on the same page and plane. Research. I advocate research. Okay? Now, when you have done your research about these folks and what they do, if possible, go to the well-known website, glassdoor.com. I'm sharing my big secrets with you, because before I go into any company to interview, guess what I'm doing? I'm researching them. I'm knowing who they are. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm going to LinkedIn and I'm reviewing all about the company executives. And not just that, I'm reviewing all about the people interviewing me. I want to know their background. I want to know what they know. Case in point, I went to an interview when I got smarter. Okay. I went for an interview and I realized that one of the people interviewing me was a program manager. So I was battle ready. I knew that not only does this guy know how to manage projects, he knows how to manage multiple interrelated projects, just like I did. My peer was going to be interviewing me. Means they would be able to see right through me. So I went prepared. So I studied everything I needed to study again, and I aligned that with my real world. Because it's one thing to have been there, done that. It's another thing for people to ask you a question fresh out of one of those books that I showed you, PMBOK Guide or other. If you're not prepared mentally with all of the aptitude and intellect, maybe you're dusty on PMBOK Guide stuff, that could be a very bad interview for you. But more than anything else, if you do good research, you know the methods, the practices, the techniques that those folks employ for project management, you go to Glassdoor and these other websites and you do your investigations and you really know, all right, I know they use SAP. I know they use a PMBOK methodology. I know that the government is their major client. I know that for the projects they work on, this is their method. You'll be better prepared. It's when people don't do research that they fall flat, because you get in and they're asking you questions that you didn't see coming. I saw those questions coming. See, when I interviewed at that well-known company in Arizona, I knew And I'm not talking about Honeywell. It's a different company. But I'm not going to let them know that I searched them out to find out about them. But I did. And I knocked the interview out of the park. And, it was a couple of days they got back and said, Phil, yes. And I mean, this was very, very heavy project management. But I was battle ready because I'd done my research. Now let's rewind, EA. Let's keep it 100%. So let's rewind. Let's go back in a time machine all the way back to 2003. Here is Phil, not a PMP, written a dissertation for his master's degree in project management, practiced some project management, but definitely not in the world of the PMI at all. I did not really know about the PMI. But I had heard about Prince 2. I hadn't taken it. I knew a little bit of Microsoft Project. And with that in hand and with a master's degree, I went into this interview at DHL. Bad interview. Hopeless interview. I actually, in hindsight, feel sorry for the people interviewing me because I was clueless about all the things they were asking me right out of the book of the PMBOK or Prince 2. Clueless. And nothing is worse than being clueless and trying to affirm your understanding about nothing. So I was clueless, but I thought I knew. You see, I hadn't done enough research. I didn't know about the PMI. I hadn't done enough research about Prince 2. I didn't know how they were managing projects. I thought I could get in with what I knew, but little did I know that I was so far behind. When I finally started studying intentional project management outside of the academic environment, this time more in the professional environment, I began to realize the foolishness of what I did in that interview. First of all, I didn't research. I didn't go in prepared. I didn't even know. I couldn't even begin to answer questions in a sensible fashion because I didn't even know what these guys were talking. I thought I knew. So let me tell you what I was doing. I thought that project management was a totally different thing. And I thought that knowing the SDLC equated to being knowledgeable about project management. No. And in the world of project management, we talk about the project lifecycle. We talk about the project management lifecycle. Just because you know a project lifecycle doesn't mean you know about a project management lifecycle. So my folly was going in there unprepared, no research, thinking I knew, and I didn't know. This is what I would advise anyone going for any interview anywhere. Find someone who is a practicing nurse, doctor, lawyer, project manager, whatever, one of your peers. Find someone who can interview you, someone with a wealth of knowledge, because they might save you from yourself, from doing something stupid in an interview. If you don't know that you don't know, you're in trouble in those interviews because you're going to be answering stuff on a different plane or totally clueless. Now, saving tip, if you truly don't know, be honest and say, that is something I would like to look into and research. I don't have a ready answer for that. Or you could turn it around and make them a mentor and say, I've never heard about that. Could you give me some more information about it? Or could you expand on that a little bit further? If they're not going to give you the job anyway, you might as well learn what you're about to flunk, right? So for me, it's all about doing research, being honest, and definitely not giving the impression you know something when you don't. Now, I thought I knew. That's an even bigger problem. Thinking you know when you don't know is an even bigger problem. And that's how I flunked that interview. All right. So I hope that gives you some ideas, some perspectives. Don't be like Phil. Go in there prepared, research, find someone that can be a sounding board that you can bounce stuff off. Okay. I hope that helps you. Doreen, good to hear from you. Thank you very much. Johanny, good to see you today as well. I hope you're having a good time with your PMP prep, and those videos are actually out now. Our videos from last night, those videos are now on Vimeo. So I'm talking about our pilot PMP exam training. So any of you taking the exam, the pilot exam, or you're taking the exam from July 1st forward, we have full-blown training that helps project managers prepare for the PMP exam based on the new content outline. Not the old, but really the new stuff. All right? Thank you, NC Worker. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Go on those websites. Do what I asked you to do as far as looking for a job. Start now. And I want to hear great news about your success when you land those great jobs. Remember, it's not all about the money, though. Okay? So if you need to take a cut, take that cut and go. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.